All right, fire away.
All right. We're going to go to Matt Shodell at Canesport. Matt, go ahead.
Oh, hey, Manny. First, a housekeeping question because I don't know. DR mentioned you guys have 2 games left. You are still planning to play Georgia Tech as of now, correct?
That's what the ACC said. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So
not my real question. I just want to make sure. Okay, so you said earlier in the week that you get guys back on different days at practice and things like that. Can you give us a sense, maybe percent-wise, of how much of the entire team is able to practice like right now? And are there any position groups that you can say are most impacted at this point? Can you sort of give us a sense of that?
I mean, everyone's practicing. Not everybody's practicing full speed, and we've been picking up, maybe 5 players a day that have been, granted access to be able to play full speed. And then everybody else is just getting their reps in more of a walk through, jog through type environment. So I don't think there's one group that's affected any more than another, but I think as the week has gone, I will say this, I think we've had 2 really good practices. I think the players have come back with a great attitude and they're eager to work. I think they have the urgency of understanding that we need to go hard in practice because of the lack of just game day reps. Even just running, we finish our Wednesday with running, and just the way that they ran, they weren't running just to run. They were running they knew that they were running to win. So we'll get some more guys back tomorrow and start to really hone in on the reps that the guys can take at Duke.
Coach, we've got Tom D'Angelo from the Palm Beach Post. Tom?
Hey, Manny. Everything went down yesterday with the ACC. It changed a lot for the top 3. And I guess you guys can look at it as it took one chance away from you possibly getting to the championship game because it took a game away from Clemson. What did you think did you understand what they were trying to do? And what do you think, from Miami's point of view, how did you look at
that? I don't really quite understand what I know is that from Miami's point of view, we still have to go beat Duke, right? We told our kids the second we lost a game at Clemson, we lost all of our margin for error. And as a result, we just had to go try to win every game we had to play, which to their credit, they've done, starting with that Pitt game. So, look, it's 2020. We know everything's going to change on the fly. It's a little strange just to kind of have games taken away, but we've been on the sidelines. We're just excited to get back and play. And we know that right now, 6-1 in the ACC is good, and 7-1 looks a lot better. And to do that, we got to beat Duke.
And you did mention this. And you've said this many times, but through it all, just like you said, things are going to change. Things are out of your control. Crazy stuff can happen. Does that kind of mitigate the thought of, oh boy, what are they doing to us? And it's like you said, just try to play a football game this week.
I think I can only speak for me. I can't speak for all the players, but I think for everything that, from my standpoint, that we've gone through over the last few weeks, really, really excited to go play a football game again. And just excited to go, have the opportunity to go win another ACC game on the road. Because I don't know, I just feel like, Tom, we just felt like once we lost to Clemson, we just had to go play. And at the end of the year, when they counted them all up, if we had enough to get to Charlotte, we'd have enough. But we felt like if all we thought about was Charlotte, we'd fall down that similar path where you lose 1 and then you lose 2, then you lose 3. So we've done a really good job of trying to just focus on what's in front of us. And with all the adversity, like I mentioned, with all the weird way we have to prepare this week, I think that's enough for us right now.
Thank you.
Coach, we've got Chris Stock from InsideTheU. Chris?
Coach, curious what you make of Brevin Jordan's season. Obviously started out strong, hurt, in and out, the whole thing, but you get him back the last game. Just how he's performed, but then also maybe what you sense from him in this final stretch of games, what you're kind of hoping for or expect with him.
It was exciting watching him at practice today. I think he's got a renewed spirit. It's tough, man. I mean, there's a reason why 2020 doesn't count to these kids' eligibility because, whether it's an injury like what Brevin had or being out for other reasons, it's hard. It's hard to make an impact when you're in and out of the lineup. And so with Brevin, we've had that over the course of the last 2 years. So to get him healthy, and he was back for Virginia Tech, but he still wasn't back in in real game shape where he could really, really contribute a bunch of snaps. So to get him back going, I mean, when you watch our cut from early in the year, he's a major factor on our offense as a weapon. So I just think that just adds another weapon for De'Eric and gives defense another issue to worry about.
Coach, last hand up we've got is Susan Miller-Degnan from the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Manny. How much do you think that their conditioning, after watching them now and knowing how long it'll be 20 days that they haven't played a game. How much do you think their conditioning will be affected? That's my first question.
Well, that's part of that's the unknown, because again, when you say they, if 50 some odd guys get in a game, that could be 50 different levels of conditioning. We've had some guys that have been fine, that have been able to condition the whole time. Some guys that got back to full speed Monday, some guys getting back to full speed on Friday. So there's a lot of different levels. There might be some guys that are on sort of a pitch count that may not be able to play as much just because of, and then part of it, you got to get in the game and see how the guys feel. Obviously it'll be cool up there. It's, so you're not worried about, all of a sudden big heat that they're not acclimated to. So we'll find out, certainly, Duke and Georgia Tech had to go through this the past week because they both came off of layoffs. And you could see some of the inherent issues of not playing football for a while show up in that contest.
And then my follow is, do you watch the ESPN show like last night? I mean, you must keep up with it about the college football playoff rankings and stuff. Does it mean anything to you?
We were here at work, so I was not watching. But I think I've said this before. Could you imagine in college basketball if they announced the bracket with 3 weeks left in the college basketball season? Like how absurd that would be? And what would be the purpose? Just everybody can yell and scream about it, right? I mean, that's really what we're doing. We're announcing a bracket that is fictional because the season's not over yet. So to have an opinion on where anybody is would be the exact same thing of saying they're like in the NFL playoffs. It'd be like looking at the NFL playoff bracket today when they have 4 or 5 games left. No one ever does that. Why? Because they wait till the season ends to set the playoffs. It doesn't even seem like a very complicated notion, right? So no, it's not a big deal to us at all. Like I said, beat Duke.
Good answer. Thanks.
Awesome. Coach Diaz, thanks for spending a few minutes with us today.
Okay, y'all have a good one.